Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live in Hong Kong from SmartCon 2024 by Chainlink. Joining me for this segment, we have Johann Eid. He's the Chief Business Officer of Chainlink Labs. We're here to discuss cross-chain infrastructure for blockchain ecosystems. Johann, it is great to see you again.
Likewise.
Thanks for joining us on TradeTalks. Let's talk about Chainlink CCIP. What is the vision behind it?
Yeah, sure. We're evolving more and more towards a space with hundreds of blockchains. You have permission chains, you have EVM chains, L1s, L2s, L3s. Now, no ecosystem can scale if it's siloed. In order for our ecosystem to actually grow, to scale, you need a way to communicate between all of these chains. So CCIP is basically the TCP IP of crypto. It's a way for blockchains to be able to communicate and connect with one and another in a very secure way. That's the vision behind it.
What interest in adoption are you seeing around CCIP?
We're seeing tons and tons of adoption. We actually had around 60 projects integrate our solutions this week. 40 were around CCIP. So we're seeing two types of different integrations. The first one is blockchains integrating CCIP as their canonical cross-chain solution, meaning every time a blockchain needs to connect to another ecosystem, they use CCIP. The second type is token issuers basically using CCIP as their main cross-chain solution. So I deploy a token, and by default I enable CCIP to be the way I transfer this token across every single blockchain.
It's interesting. You just said, the canonical cross-chain infrastructure for blockchain ecosystems. What does that mean? I mean, you just mentioned 60 projects in what, just a week, and that is that's massive.
Yeah. Well, there is a need here, right? There is a huge need. I think cross-chain is one of the key unlocks for the space, because right now you have all of this liquidity, all of this value sitting on siloed blockchains. And once you're able to unify all of this liquidity into one single network, you can actually unlock a lot of scale for the whole space. That's what CCIP is doing. CCIP is able to connect all of these silos together to unify all of this liquidity in one single place.
Right, and that's really the ethos behind blockchain.
Exactly.
How does Chainlink address the growing demand for low latency market data and DeFi derivatives?
Yeah, so that's another one of our key adoption products. Actually, just this week, we had 7 derivative protocols integrate Chainlink data streams. Combined, those 7 protocols are around 20% of total derivative volume on chain today. So we're seeing the adoption really spike up. What we've noticed is that these protocols need to list new pairs, new tokens very quickly to be able to trade them in a fast manner. So not only does DataStream provide super low latency, super high reliability, it also provides you with the option to list new assets very quickly, because as soon as an asset is listed, it goes into DataStream to then be used by derivative users who use the product.
Yeah, Johann, it's interesting. Tokenization has been a part of almost every conversation here at SmartCon this year. How is the Chainlink platform solving the needs of tokenized asset issuers?
There are 3 key steps when you issue a token. The first one is that you go from off-chain to on-chain, right? You tokenize something, you take gold and you put it on-chain. That's the step number 1. Primary asset minting, I would call it. The second step is once you have this token, you need to move it from one blockchain to another. I would call it secondary asset minting. It's basically you burn it on one side, you mint it on the other side. And third part is utility for your token. Why did you tokenize something? To use it in DeFi, to use it in applications. For usage, you need data. Finance is driven by data, right? Each one of these steps, we provide a standard to make it either safe, secure, or transparent. Step number 1, going from off-chain to on-chain, we use proof of reserve to ensure the token can be minted safely from the off-chain world to the on-chain world. Going from one blockchain to another, we use CCIP to ensure your token can move from one blockchain to another blockchain. And third one, we use data to ensure your token can go into DeFi dApps. So we're basically solving end-to-end every step of the way for a token, and the end result is what we call a smart asset. It's a token that's verifiable through proof of reserve. It can be moved across any chain through CCIP, and it can be used into any dApp through Chainlink data feeds or data streams.
As a veteran of the blockchain industry, what has you most excited right now?
Our space, in my eyes today, is a POC for something much, much greater. If you combine stablecoins and GFI today, the whole value of the market is $250 billion. We're looking at how can we tokenize the Bitcoin space into GFI, and how can we bring real-world assets such as treasuries, stocks, bonds on-chain. The value we're talking about tokenizing here is trillions and trillions of dollars. That's the next step I'm excited about for the industry.
All right, appreciate the insight as always. Johann, thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. And thanks for joining us from SmartCon. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.